It's such a pleasure to have you all here. It's a real delight. So welcome. Just to begin with, I'd like to acknowledge. Oh, sorry, Danny. I'd like to acknowledge the original custodians of this land, the original yogis of this land, the wisdom keepers, the people that are keeping the old codes alive, waiting for us to be ready to receive those codes. So just full acknowledgement to the past, the present and emerging original people of the land. Thank you.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming. It's really nice to see new faces and old friends here. In order to celebrate the divine the spark of love that we all carry inside in the guidance and presence of a beautiful and true teacher that is hard to find these days. Bodhi, Shuddhaanandaa, Bodhi means pure awareness, and Shuddhaanandaa, pure bliss. And that is surely who he is. He has helped thousands of people around the globe to come out of darkness and come into the light. He has fed the hungry and created more than 100 schools for children in the slums of India. And there's so much to say about Bodhi. I have to try to keep it short, otherwise we're not going to have time to listen to him, and that's what we're here for. But one more thing I can say, that from every word that he speaks, he just pours out love and wisdom, which is far beyond reach of these days. And he carries with him the oldest Himalayan yogic tradition, true masters of this life. And he's here to help us, to guide us back to our divinity inside, so we can all come to the ultimate God realization. That's what we all want. I think that's why we're all here. So please welcome our dear, beautiful guest, the God sent, the divine grace that has descended upon us to shine the light and bring that spark of God out of ourselves.
Thank you so much, Dharma. Thank you, Marina, for all the beautiful words that came out of your heart. And thank you all for being here this beautiful evening. This itself is divine in manifestation. This itself is a divine will in manifestation. When many souls come together and share a common space with one intention, and as the wheel of ignorance gradually and gradually lifted up, there's more and more clarity of that intention. And it's so wonderful that since I came to Byron Bay, almost every day I feel that this is a blessed land, unique of its kind. Because before I came to Byron Bay, I have been visiting many countries in the world. Since 1990, I have visited many cities and towns and villages of the United States, from one corner to the other, one end to the other. And you know that it all started so much there, quite early 60s. But still, one thing I want to share with all of you today. The energy that I feel here, and particularly all of you who are residing in Byron Bay, the way you are trying to get totally aligned to that higher force, with such utmost sincerity, with such devotion in your heart. It simply is phenomenal. I have no words other than pure gratitude to each one of you for welcoming me to this land. Coming from Bharat. You all know India as India, but I know India as Bharat. You know what is Bharat? That's the original name of India. India's name is not India. Originally, from the ancientmost past that the humans can ever think of, that piece of land was named as Bharat. Bharatvarsh. And what's the meaning of Bharat? Bha in Sanskrit means self-illumined. Swa Prakash. That means, let me give an analogy to understand it simpler. Sun is self-illumined. Moon is not. Isn't it? Moon needs sun's light. But sun is self-illumined. Inside each one of us, Marina was just talking about that spark. Inside each one of us, there is that self-illumined soul, spirit, Atman, Brahman as it is called in different languages. The Brahman Atman inside, the self inside, the being inside, the existential reality is eternal and self-illumined. It needs none other's light to illuminate it. Through that light we see all the light. That's the light of all lights. That's the source of all lights. Jyotisham apitat jyotihi. Jyoti means light. The light of all lights. The source of all lights. Self-illumined. It never has to borrow light from anybody else. None of us here, and all of you who are hearing, we don't need to borrow knowledge from anyone in this world in order to be again back to our natural self. We are self-illumined. All the knowledge in the world that is needed, it's all embedded in the very being of our heart, in the very being of our spirit, in the very being of our soul. The soul is self-illumined. It doesn't have to borrow. Everything else borrows light from the soul. Every cell of my body borrows light from my soul to animate. Soul is self-illumined. Bha is self-illumined. Rata. Bha, Rata. What is Rata? Involved in, engaged in. The people of the land of Bharat are the people who from the most ancient past have been deeply engrossed in the research, in the deepest seeking of ultimately reaching to that self-illumined source of the universes. Bharata means we are seekers of that self-illumined light that lights every cell of our body like trillions of galaxies. The same light, the same energy, the same power, the same quantum to the quantum to the quantum energy. Bharata is the people of the land who have been from time immemorial to human history, have been engrossed, immersed in not just finding all about the universe that is manifest, but they wanted to find the source code of all these manifestations. So the entire research was not outwardly focused. To know about the universe is outside of us. People of this land first discovered that life flows inside out, not outside in. I repeat, self-illumined knowledge brings this light into each one of us, that life flows inside out and not outside in. If that is the truth, that life, which is that ultimate cosmic energy that makes life possible on earth, if that energy is moving from inside out, I'm talking, I'm seeing, I'm hearing. Every activity of my life is not from outside to inside, though I believe so, though it appears so. And that's the reason humans in a state of not connected to that self-illumined life inside, those who are disconnected from that source inside, they seek that light outside. By light, I mean that source of joy, that source of happiness, that source of peace. disconnected from that innermost core of our being, where it is self-illumined. It's there. But just because I do not know the source code, I cannot decode it. As a result, I am kind of focused outside, and my search has gone from inside to outside. That's where miseries have started to come and inflict each one of us, and collectively all of us. The people of that land from time immemorial were just going inside the laboratory of the body, mind and breath to find their source code. That is Bharat. And I know every one of you here who are present, I'm sure, you must have visited India at least once. Is there anybody who didn't visit so far? You don't even get into percentage here. You both are visiting now. India is not Bharat. Mumbai is not Bharat. Delhi is not Bharat. Taj Mahal is not Bharat. All that you normally see, the glitz, that's not Bharat. Bharat is, for that you need to go to some places where you definitely have this. Okay. Sorry. Please come, please come. You can come in front. There's a lot of space here. So here we are in mini Bharat. Why I say it's mini Bharat? Tell me why I'm saying this is, to me, to my heart, this is mini India. For the simple reason, here I see in Byron Bay, people are deeply in search and seeking of that ultimate reality, not outside. I think that part of it is almost done with all of you, and that's the reason you have come to Byron Bay, where as a community you are helping each other to heal yourself and in the process heal Mother Earth. This is the beauty of this place. Very large number of people are all together here, but with one purpose, to find that self-illumined source of each one of us and the universe. Number two, not only to find the source, but to celebrate. Imagine every corner of Byron Bay I hear every day, everywhere else, Monday to Friday, work, do, earn, make. I came to Byron Bay, oh my goodness. Monday, it's X's place where the Kirtan is going on. Tuesday, it's Greg's place where in Temple Byron something is going on. On Thursday, Lizma's house, there is some Kirtan going on. It's all over, every day, everywhere. Oh gosh. What else is this? Other than Bharata. Bharata. Yes, everywhere. Where they're singing. But they're singing to whom? They're singing to their own inner self, that self-illumined self. Isn't it true? Yeah. When you do your kirtans, you are singing to whom? Divine. Life flows inside out. You are basically igniting that light that is always there, but appears to have been dimmed by the influence of the materialistic clusters, materialistic influences. living with people around who have always been telling you, hello, how are you? You look so good today. An instant feeling is that I must be looking good. And that I is your bodily I, and that's not you are. So everybody reminds us in this world that you are a body. Nobody tells me you are a soul. It's a continual suggestion. It's mesmeric. It's hypnotic. How can I ever know that I am not a body? I'm a soul, eternal. I was never born. And there's no question of death. So where is the fear? All fears come out of unknown, out of death. Imagine every person from the early childhood to this day, if you remember well, every person you met, starting from your mom, dad, to your siblings, to everyone, they must have told you that you are a body. Forget not if you are walking on the street, if there's a small little pebble that touches your foot anywhere, if it touches your toe anywhere, it's over. There's a pain. The pain is not to you. The pain is to your body, and you're not the body. Even that small, tiny dot of a pebble tells you you are a body. It reminds me, I'm a body. And so, oh, it was a pain. But how many of us are conscious about the fact that pain happened to my body and not to me? Tell me, how many of us are conscious of this? How many of us are conscious when somebody wishes us good, that this is not to this body, this is just to tell me, oh, what a beautiful soul you are. The whole world has conspired to make me believe deeply that I am a body. And no wonder, to come out of this deep hypnotic step or deep hypnotic state, if we have to come out of it, it takes once again a long journey back. A very sincere journey from again deconditioning our mind, deconditioning our brain, deconditioning our belief, deconditioning our thoughts, deconditioning our emotional patterns, finally deconditioning our oceanic subconscious mind. That's the huge task. Each one of us have it. Because we have conditioned and conditioned and conditioned our brain, our thoughts, our mind, our beliefs. And it's not easy to decondition them. Habits die very hard. I truly express my deepest gratitude to each one of you here, that you are living truly in Byron Bay. I don't say in Australia, I say in Byron Bay. And these beautiful mountains around. Here trees are meditating, birds are meditating, everything is meditating. Here the air is meditating. Here the beautiful creeks, the ocean, everything is meditating. And no wonder you all join in that natural celebration of nature's glory. And that is what makes Byron Bay something very exquisite in this entire planet. Blessed you are to belong to this. And blessed you are, once again, and I'm grateful to you, that you invited me, you attracted me to this place. Like attracts like. You lived it so long. And no wonder, the universe has planned, okay, Bodhi, it's time, go there. Because not everybody can go to India all the time. So take India to Byron Bay.
That's right.
Bodhi to you may be a tiny dot of the ancient most past of India. to be living with you. Because one thing I tell you with utmost love, utmost joy of my heart, is that I carry these sandals with me. This is the biggest wealth of my world. If I have any wealth in the world by which I am wealthiest, it's this pair of sandals. This is from my Gurudev. Because if Bharat is Bharat, if India is India, it is because India has been the one and only country which had this Guru-disciple succession from time immemorial to this day. Veda was never written anywhere. All other scriptures are written. Vedas, the ancient most wisdom of the world, was not written anywhere. It was taught by the Guru to the disciple. And imagine the memory of the disciple. He would remember the whole of the Vedas by heart. And before he passes on to the next lineage of the disciples. Thus, from time to time, from the ancient, you can't even imagine, timeless time, it has been passed on from mouth to the mouth, to the heart from the Guru to the disciple. So that's the reason. Because one thing I want to share with you today, spiritual knowledge cannot be acquired. Please note this fact. I don't know how many of you would properly understand the essence of these words I'm saying. Spiritual knowledge cannot be acquired. Knowledge of physics can be acquired, but not metaphysics. The knowledge of all sciences can be acquired. All arts can be acquired. All businesses can be acquired. One thing you cannot acquire is spiritual knowledge. Why? Because spirit is self-knowledgeable, self-illumined. It has to be transmitted. I repeat, spiritual knowledge has to be transmitted from one to the other, but it cannot be acquired. And I want to give you a very, very essential part of this very deepest core of the Indian ancient heritage of this Vedic culture, and that is, it took a long journey for a student to gradually decondition the mind and create a mind where it's like a slate on which Guru will write, but there is nothing written there. And what Guru will write there would instantly become a revealed wisdom to that particular disciple. So a disciple doesn't learn. A disciple spends the whole life in unlearning. Because learning is the biggest barrier to the path of that ultimate flowering to happen. Every other part of the world, in every other endeavor of human activities, you'll find we are so eager to learn quick, fast. We want this, we want that, all fast, now. The only thing in the spiritual world, you have to get into a space of time where time is timeless. You have to get out of your thoughts and practices and conditions that within this time, if I do this technique, I'll possibly attain to this. Sorry, no, it's not going to happen. And I repeat, if it happens to you, it's a pretense. It's not true. If it has to happen, then it has to happen out of your complete emptying of what you have learned. Because otherwise, that which is already there in your mind is nothing but bits and pieces of still some debris of your subconscious mind. Imagine what a responsibility each one of us are carrying, isn't it?
Yeah.
As humans, what a huge responsibility we are carrying. That I have learned and learned from early childhood. My mother said, go to this school, learn this, learn that. I learned. And our heart always says, I want to know more, I want to know more, I want to know more. And now suddenly somebody comes and tells me, empty. What is nonsense? Then why first you tell me, learn? You should have told me from the earliest time when I was born, Mother, you should have whispered into my ears, my child, don't learn. Unlearn. If when you were in my womb, you got my thoughts transmitted into your brain, now start from this moment to even throw that off. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Because this is one particular knowledge which cannot be acquired. If this could be acquired all over the world, by now we have sages and saints, but we don't have. We have practitioners. We have seekers. We have searchers. We have experimenters. We experiment with this group, we experiment with this teacher, we experiment with that particular process, that particular technique. We are all trying. But we are trying to acquire it. My humble request today to all of you is this. Think deeply. You can't acquire it. It has to be transmitted to you. And the transmission happens when you are ready. You can't force it. You can't say it has to happen because I have done this. No. Even if you've done everything, it may not happen. That happening is completely at the mercy of the divine. And the divine is infinite intelligence. Ours is tiny little dot of an intelligence. But the divine intelligence is total. Ours is part intelligence with which we are operating our brain every day. How can the part conceive the total? How can one wave of the ocean even fathom what the whole ocean is? Can it do it? Can a drop of the ocean fathom what the whole ocean is? Though that one drop of that ocean is truly carrying the entire ocean in it. But for that drop, conceiving the whole ocean is impossible. But as we find, there has always been number of people in this world who took this journey by first understanding how could those who attained to that enlightened state, what path they chose, how did they walk on the path, what did they do so special that they could get into a state of self-illumined bliss and happiness. They don't have to borrow any borrowed knowledge. It doesn't help us. It helps us to teach. It helps us to impress a group of people. But it doesn't help me. By earning a lot of borrowed knowledge from 10 books, I can impress 1,000 people in no time. And they will go gaga about me. But what about me? Because I know My conscience tells me, who am I? Others can know. I know. Because if still insecurity haunts me, if still fears haunts me, if restlessness is still there, if at times I'm caught by anxieties, if at times I'm worried about things, then my unlearning is yet in the process. Hence, this spiritual journey is a continual process of the satsang. What is satsang? Where at least a few people will join together, sit together, and dwell on this aspect again and again and again. Why again and again and again? Because it's a deep forgetfulness. My self-forgetfulness is so deep. My body identification is so deep. My mind identification is so deep. I can never forget it for a moment until I'm reminded and reminded and reminded and reminded, hammered and hammered and hammered into my brain, deep and deeper. I come to the awakening. Ah, so I am a soul, not a body. Yes, there were a few moments during my meditation when I suddenly felt that I didn't have a body. I didn't know where my limbs are. I didn't even know what my head is. But yet I was. I was. But I didn't know where my body is. I didn't know where my rest of the other things are. But yet I had a consciousness. I am. That consciousness, which is unidentified with anything else, is the self-illumined Bharat. And you all are Rata. Means you all are engaged in getting back to that source within. As you keep practicing, what you normally are doing is that you are persevering. Two things are of immense value, immense value, immense value. Patience and perseverance. These are the two scents that you have to offer to the divine. Patience, perseverance, and the second scent that you have to give as dakshina is trust in the divine providence, in the divine intelligence. And from our tradition, if I say, yes, complete trust in the Guru. Because his light will be transmitted into me, and then awakening will happen. Otherwise, I may know the whole of the Vedas, I may know the whole of Gita, I may know all the scriptures of the world, I may impress the whole world with my oratory powers, but still, that flame, which is self-illumined, will not happen. Because knowledge is not wisdom. Wisdom is Bharat, the self-illumined manifestation of the soul within, who is infinitely knowledgeable. Oceanic knowledge is there. We are taking one or two bits out of it and sharing with others. That's the reason I say, I am in Bharat. Because here I find people are mostly engaged in seeking and finding that self-illumined source of light within and not without. Few days back I was in Sydney. Everybody's running. Byron is not Sydney. The difference is people are running because that's their stage of life. Please don't take me wrong that I'm trying to find fault with anybody. None of us should find fault with anyone in the world, however ignorant that person is. However ignorant that person is. Everybody is in their own stage of evolution. That person also will have a day when they will have Bharat. That person also will have a call from inside his heart. Come, ye children of immortality. You are not someone to die. You are born deathless, and hence there is no fear of death with you. That call will come to each one of us. You know why? Because we are potentially divine. We are potentially divine. We are carrying seed God in each one of us, always wanting to manifest. We just need to help each other a little. In that process of manifestation, to be little faster, quicker. And yes, Satsang is one of the ways by which we can quicken that process, because it's a continual reminder. Wake up. Uttishtat. Wake up. Jagrat. Wake up. Prapya varannivodat. This is Vedic pronouncement. Uttishtat. Why uttishtat? We are anyway awake. We are not sleeping. But still the Rishi is telling us, wake up. Because we walk as if in a sleep. We are all sleepwalkers. We don't even know where we are walking to, but we reach our destination because we have been going to that place again and again, so our subconscious mind takes us. We are sleepwalkers. Awake, he said, knowing that we are sleepwalkers, they say, come on, enough of dreaming. Wake up from your dream. What is this whole world you're talking about? It's all a dream. Wake up from your dream. Uttishtat. Jagrat. That means awake. Arise. And then, prapya varan nivodat. You are born to be blessed by that self-illumined knowledge of the self. You're born because you are human. Being born as a human, it's your birthright to realize God. It's your birthright to realize divinity. It's your birthright to be peaceful and happy and celebrating. It's your birthright. Because you are human. Because awareness is your swabhava. That's your true nature. Unawareness is not. Unconsciousness is not. Sleeping in consciousness is not. You are awake. Look inside. You are awake. Look inside in your heart. It's still there, waiting for you. Knock, and the door shall be opened. Seek, and thou shalt find. Where? In the very core of our being. Bharata. Today you are taking a word from here. Bharata. What is Bhar? Self-illumined self. Bha means the self-illumined soul. Bha means that which never borrows anything from anyone other than its own source. It is potentially divine. That means it is potentially complete, whole, holy. anybody. However holy he or she could be. Don't have to borrow it. Live holy, you become holy. You are born holy, but you believe you are not. Hence the journey to holiness. Isn't it true? We are born with that innate feeling of completeness, yet we feel so incomplete. That's the reason so restless. We are seeking our completeness. And gradually, as we have this kind of satsangs, more and more number of times, you will listen to the same thing again and again, but in a company like this. Why? Because you are basically, with your energetic field, you do not know. Each one of you have your own aura, and you are sharing your aura. Here you don't have a band of materialistic people who have joined together for a party to excite the senses and become more body identified. Here you have a group of people who are trying to get more and more identified with the self, the soul, the spirit, the light. Obviously, when 10, 20, 30, 40 people join together, imagine the quantum of light. Imagine the quantum of aura that you can create. Imagine how you can help each other in that space. Of course, without knowing. Of course, without telling. Of course, without claiming any credit for it. Look here, I have shared my aura to you. Say thank you to me. No. Because I have been living this life. I'm talking about you. You all have been living this. So you bring to each and every one this beautiful spark. That little joy that you have already attained to. Otherwise, how do you stick to this path? Sure enough, you must have tasted that beyond the physical, the spiritual has its own beauty and its grandeur, its exquisiteness. And that's what on the first day that I truly meet you in a way that I wanted. Believe me, for the first day I came to Byron Bay, I always longed for a place to live that I will be calling it the abode of Bodhi's peace home. And in that abode of Bodhi's peace home, I'll invite some beautiful souls, beautiful sources of lights. You're not bodies here. Oh, if only there could have been some magician here to just lift the veil out of your eyes. You'd see that none of you are bodies. You're all lights. And I longed when I'll sit in my own space where I live. Otherwise I'll go to someplace and get back. But I wanted to invite you to my space where I breathe and continually chant the name that my Guru gave me, which is called as Guru Mantra. Whenever you chant the divine name that's given by you to your Guru, that entire space is charged. And you are the one to receive the beneficial effects of it. You are the one to really have all the benefits of it, because the more you remember the divine, more your mind's dross of material clusters gradually leave you. All the toxins are simply thrown away from your body. How do you know it? By finding that even if somebody insults you, it doesn't affect you anymore. Even if somebody praises you, you don't take it personally. That's a sign that you are progressing in the path. I think we should now get into little kirtan now. Otherwise, it'll go on and on. But before I go into kirtan, I just wanted to say one thing to you, and that is, we'll keep having these home satsangs. And next time when you come, I'll start reading passages from this book and start explaining it. I started it once in America, but couldn't continue it. But I want to do it here. Like, just like a couple of lines I'm just reading to give you a feel of it, what I want to do in my future, the satsangs that I'll be. Practicing prayer. This is a book which the Divine wrote through my hands. Though its name is Shuddhaanandaa, but I know none of us can claim any authorship, at least of this kind of literatures. But yet it is just a formal thing to do for the worldly thing. But it should have been here, nobody. Anonymous. But I didn't do it because that's my ego. Shuddhaanandaa. Okay, I'll just read a couple of lines from here. What I did is I've given 30 readings and 30 practices for befriending our own mind. The name of the book is that your mind, your best friend. But one thing is not seen, that is your mind, your worst enemy. No enemy outside can be as dangerous as your mind. And no friend in the world could be as dear as your own mind, provided you have befriended your mind, which is the hardest thing to do in this world. And these 30 days is a practice to attain to that state where your mind becomes your guru. Your mind becomes your guide. Your mind becomes your philosopher. Your mind becomes your source of light. Your mind becomes your source of divinity. The more we focus on any situation with a positive, befriending mind, the more light within enlightens our inner temple. Darkness flees away. The more anyone attacks you with negativity, the more you should grow in awareness and consciousness. Fill that person with the positive vibrations of your heart, with compassion, with love. Fill your own heart with prayers for that person and for your own limitations in forgiveness, compassion, and understanding. I would love to go more detail into each of these words, and I assure you that from the next time when I come, it's good that today I introduced you that I am from Bharat, visiting Bharat. It's not that I left Bharat to find Australia. No. I am from Bharat, visiting Bharat. And truly, truly, once again, so much thanks to each one of you that you attracted me to this place. So, henceforth, wherever I am, let me tell you, Dharmama has been, how do you know how we call it? Dharma Maitra, I call it, right? Dharma Maitra. The love with which she gave her home to me and moved into a single studio, small little thing. She gave everything to us. And we have been extremely, extremely happy to be at her home. Other than, I'm so sorry to say that, and this road is a problem. It's so busy in the daytime, there's so much of vehicle moving and there's so much of noise. That's something which I really can't take it. I need a space where it is quiet, where only birds will talk and I'll talk. Not these whizzing cars. So maybe I'll be leaving this place in next few days to go to, in your community, Zoma, you must be knowing, Zo came that day a little late to your home. Isn't Zo? Z-O-E, how do you pronounce it? Zo? Zoe, okay, I'm sorry. So Zoe. And I'll be possibly moving to her place by the first week of September. And then that is in Wilson Creek? Wilson Creek, yes. So, but that is a beautiful place in the sense, it's pure nature. Mountains all around. Like that day I went to your home, my goodness, Lisma's home was surrounded by mountains and beautiful, beautiful trees all around. It's absolutely a gift to be in such space, to breathe with all the trees together and feel Mother talking to you. Just open your heart and listen to it. Okay, we'll start doing little kirtan now. And what she's going to start with is, she's Megha. Oh, sorry, her official name Devdatta. Okay, can you pronounce Devdatta? Exactly. Devdatta means, actually our Gurudev, she was hardly 2 years old at that time, gave the name to her as Devdatta, which means, Dev means the divine, Datta means gift. So the divine gift. You know, in India, names are given with deep significance. Each name has got some deep spiritual significance. So Devdatta means the gift from the divine. And she just I don't know what.
I've written down the Nada mantra pieces of paper and passed it on.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Actually, I wanted to start this with this is because this is our invocation prayer. This is our invocation prayer, and this is something to do with you all are very well accustomed to this word Nada. But we only know the word. Nada is as deep as the knowledge of Brahman. Nada is as vast as the knowledge of Brahman. The one who reaches to the source of Nada knows one thing, that Nada is anahata, which means unstuck. This is stuck. There was a sound. Sound. This is stuck. Sound. But anahata, which is our heart center, when our heart center opens, then that particular chakra's opening brings into light that particular eternal grace of the divine, where we hear sound, but the sound is soundless. The silence of the divine, which is most eloquent that anyone can conceive of that, from where the true wisdom flows all the time in its infinite creativity. Through this chakra, this is infinite creativity chakra, the Shuddha. So once we reach somehow to our heart, an open heart with all our prayer and love, gradually we can get into the anahata, the unstuck realm of sound, from where wisdom will flow into our mind, and that is not borrowed from outside. It's our original source, original knowledge. Nada is our original source of sound of sounds, light of lights, creation of all creations. So here, Nada, what is the total, what is that? Om.
Nada.
Can I explain to you these few words that you're going to chant now along with her? You know this Om by now is the cosmic sound of oneness, and Reem is the Bija mantra, right? Seed sound. When we say seed sound, we need to understand this, that seed means essentially potential. Everything is there in a small, tiny package. The whole universe is in the seed. So that particular seed sound is the Shiva and Shakti put together. Om Reem Ananta Renu. When the Shiva and Shakti manifest, then the manifestation is Ananta. That means endless, infinite, countless. Renu means which is like a tiniest particle, like the drop in the ocean. Just as in the tiniest particle is the universe, and the ocean is in the drop, so also in the nada is the source of all wisdom. So this is our invocation. We will together chant it and chant it and chant it and get into our heart, that particular heart chakra to open, and then receive all the light from the universe and source of lights. Please try to meditate by giving a few moments of more silence and feel these vibrations of Nada Brahman in every cells of your body. Feel these same sounds are naturally happening to you inside of you. And let every cell soak it, resonate it, sing it, so that every cell and its toxins are all released. Let this pure cosmic sound of Nada percolate to each and every cell of your body, every molecule of your body, every atom of your body. Allow that cosmic miracle to happen so that you're purified in your body, purified in your mind, and purified in your breaths. So that the body melds into the universal body. So that our mind dissolves into the universal cosmic overmind. So that our breaths slowly and gradually Let each one of our breaths become that single chord by which we become like a beautiful garland of flowers to be blessed at the lotus feet of the beloved Lord. We'll now all take a deep, 3 deep breaths. And as we exhale, we'll chant Aum, Aum together. Take a deep breath, please. Every Om chanting has to be just like the bell. When we ring the bell, it's like with Ah, you open your mouth and gradually bring it closer, lips. And then finally when you sound Ma, then both the lips should be tight. And you only hum the Ma. Ah, U, Ma is Srishti, Sthiti and Laya, which means the creation, preservation and the ultimate annihilation. The entire cosmic process is Ah, U, Ma. Jagrat, Swapna, Susupti. Jagrat, our wakeful state. Swapna, our dream state. And Susupti, our deep sleep state. All these states are in Ah, U, Ma. And transcendental to all of these states is Aum. So when we chant Aum, we must make sure we touch chords of Ah, U and Ma. Then it's complete. Ah, U, Ma. So first we start with lips little open, and as we go to the U part, little close, and still you are sounding. And finally when you come to Ma, it should be the last part of the bell. Fades. So Ma should be long and as if it is fading. But allow this to sink into your consciousness. Just, it's not the sound. It's how we allow that sound to basically purify our body. And as the body is purified, all our negative emotions simply are dispelled. Because they are contained in the cellular structure of our brain and body. So this Aum should be so beautifully pronounced and uttered with such devotion in our heart that every cell of our body resonates with the Aum and transcends us beyond to the reality that is truth, that is the divine, that's our beloved. Once again we'll do it, take a deep breath. Oh. So Ah, U, Ma, three chords have to be touched. Take last and final, the deep breath again. This is the correct pronunciation of the Omkara, where you have touched all the three. But make sure every time you do it, allow the sound to percolate through every cells of your body. That's a beautiful meditation where we have a sound bath. We're allowing the inner cells to be bathed with the sound of the cosmic purity. And maybe now we can do one chanting Gayatri Mantra. Do you want to chant? Let's all together chant the Gayatri Mantra, because I'm afraid it's already 8:48 now, so we should be gradually closing our session. You all know Gayatri Mantra, so we'll be chanting. This is a little typical Indian tune. You must gradually get used to, because this is Bharat. So I'm sorry, I'll not be able to provide you, or we will not be able to provide you with pop kirtan. That pop kirtan will be at Lizma's house or in other places. But here we'll have beautiful traditional Bharat. So you don't have to go to Bharat all the way. Right here. But please don't misunderstand me also. Thank you so much for saying this. The kirtan that day we attended at, this is the only kirtan I really attended in little spirit. At least Maso. It was fantastic. It was so beautiful. Oh God. And that was the first time I heard pop kirtan. Previously I've never had the exposure to that. I was, oh my goodness, the same words, how they're pronouncing and how they're throwing, and this is something so different. But it was so musical, so much of, it's gradually building up and together, and all of them were just, I said, oh goodness, how can I learn this? Then I know I can't make it. Let me remain that age-old traditional stuff and gradually get you into this taste also. So that you can go to pop kirtans and hear you when you come here. So you all know these two people will always go into this conventional, traditional type. Well, let's have a different taste, isn't it? Come on. First please listen. First please listen this particular tune, and then we'll go together. Okay?
Tsaviturvarenyam bhargo
स्वाहा तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं tonight, make sure you ask me the question, what's the spiritual significance of this particular mantra? That I'll try to give what I've learned from my Guru Parampara. It may be a little different from what may be with you or may not be with you, but I'll try to share that next time. We'll do the Shanti part now. We are close to 9, so we have to finish within time. This is something strange. I never finish on time. This is the magic of our Byron Bay. But when we are like this, time stops. I mean, when our heart is searching with divine light and devotion, the time just seems to lose its grip on us. But for some reason, if we are sad, depressed, time never seems to end. And here, we don't even know when 7 to 9 came. It's like just like here. So it's more like when many of us join together at one place, and many of us share our common intention and go deeper and deeper and deeper, then maybe we also are helping each other to transcend time. And mind you, time to me is equal to mind, and mind to me is equal to time. When time stops, your mind stops. When your mind stops, your time stops. That's the reason in deep meditation, you do not know how much time you have been sitting like this. And suddenly you find, what's the time now? Time is equal to mind, and mind is equal to time. If you can manage to stop the mind, time stops. And when time stops, causation also stops. Because this universe runs on the principle of time and causation. Mind is the causation factor. So today, we'll do again our conventional, traditional way of doing the Shanti, last bit of our part. So we can do it. Naham tisthami Vaikunthe yoginam hridayena cha madbhakta yatra gayanti tatra tisthami narada. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Hare Paramatmane Pranata Klesha Nashaya Govindaya Namo Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Prasida Paramananda Prasida Parameshwara Adi Vyadhi Bhujangena Darshan Uddhara Prabho Uddhara Prabho कृपा सिंधु सद्गुरु श्रीलोकनाथं भवभयहरं अवतारवरिष्ठं श्रीलोकनाथं 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 हरि ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः may all be happy सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः may all be happy सर्वे सन्तु निरामयः may all be healthy in body and mind सर्वे सन्तु निरामयः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु may we always all the time moment to moment see only the good only the divine master in each other ma kashchit dukkha bhag bhavet. The Vedic rishis prayers are so universal. Look at this. There's no question of any national borders in it. There's no question of any racial factors in it. Humanity as one family, earth as one mother. That has been the vision of the Vedic rishis. Sarve bhavantu. No, oh God, please make me healthy. Bring all the happiness to me. That has never been the Vedic rishis prayers. Our true prayer, if we are spiritual, our prayer will be for all. And that's exactly what I find here. You all are always praying for all. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu. May we always see the divine in each other. Only the good part in each other. Only the positive part in each other. Ma kashchit dukkha bhag bhavet. And the final prayer is this: oh Lord, make sure that none of us, no beings on earth, are afflicted with sufferance and pain. Isn't it so beautiful, a prayer? Let's once again do it together. Do you think I can chant once and then you can do the second repetition? Yes. That will be better? Yes. Please. He bhavantu sukhinah sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Once again, can you try again? Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Once again. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramayah. Sarve santu niramayah. Again. Sarve santu niramayah. Sarve santu niramayah. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Sarve Again, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Once again, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Again, Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. you all so much. Okay. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your presence. I'm sure the Mother Divine is pleased. I'm sure Mother Earth is pleased. I'm sure all the trees and plants around everywhere, they are pleased. Not a single bit of our practice in the path of spirit benefits only the person who is practicing. It benefits every other person on earth, directly or indirectly, in the subtlest possible way. So you don't meditate alone, never. You don't talk a good word alone, never. You don't think a good thought ever, never. Each and everything spills over from the skull to the farthest shores of universe. Because they are ripples in the ocean of consciousness. So it's not that thoughts can be thought only in our skull. They're rippling all over the world. Watch out your thoughts. Every thought infects the other or brings about a change in other. Thank you so much, thank you so much, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's us that have to thank you.
It is. I mean, this home is blessed. This space is blessed. Naham tishtami vaikunte. That's what we did first thing. Naham tishtami vaikunte. The Supreme Lord is telling to each one of us, I don't stay in the abode of my eternal abode. Na aham tishtami vaikunte. Yoginam hridayenacha. Not even. Most people think, when I meditate in my heart, that's where the Lord resides. Lord says, no. Then, where do you reside? Yoginam hridayenacha. Hriday means heart. Yoginam means yogis. Not in the heart of the yogis who are contemplating, meditating. No. Mad bhakta yatra gayanti. Mad bhakta, my devotees. Yatra gayanti, where they congregationally chant the divine name. They congregationally remember my divine name, my divine attributes. Mad bhakta yatra gayanti tatra tishtami narada. So at this time, if we are singing here, this is where is at this moment. Because he brought him here. Mad bhakta yatra gayanti tatra tishtami means that's where I stay. That's where I am. So these congregational chantings do bring in that particular vibration by which that Supreme is most easily kind of touched. So it was beautiful for all of you to just spend a little time with us. And I'm so thankful to my Master that he gave me a little bit of his divine bliss that I could bring to you. The one thing that I have always prayed to the Lord is this: make me an instrument of yours, but never ever give me the false ego. Never perception that I am the doer, that I am the giver, that I am the redeemer. So thank you once again. It's already close to 9:30 now. And our humble request to all of you is this.
We can listen.
I'll be very happy if you all can, quietly move out. Take your steps mindfully, connecting to your heart center, and spread out your positive vibrations that so far you've garnered within yourself, and just keep giving it wherever you go. Because if you talk any other things, it may gradually dissipate. So all the energy that you have amassed by now, move out as far as possible with a little bit of words. You can always exchange, but make sure, few. And the more of it, give it to the universe. Thank you so much. Jai. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Baba, Hari Om.
Just one little thing, Andrew here has kindly made this beautiful card.
Oh.
So if anybody
And he's a
wishes-
fantastic chef. I mean, you are Ayurvedic. In everything that you do, I've seen that. I had a taste of it once at Steve's place. You are absolutely fantastic.
It's totally sattvic, so
A
Please,
prasad
you
from
will.
Liz. Please have some prasad from Liz as well.
That smells great.
Thank you.
Excuse me. I put you some flowers from the garden and some honey from the garden.
Thank you so much. Oh, wow.
This is from my bees, pure honey.
Thank you so much, man.
You're welcome, thank you.
Excuse me, I found a came from the I don't know, some tea on the